You ever walk away from a conversation feeling drained and you don't even know why? It's not random. It's because there are rules, unwritten rules, and people keep breaking them. This is every unwritten social rule. The ones no one teaches you, but everyone judges you for. These rules don't show up in textbooks. Nobody hands you a list on your birthday, but break them. And you'll feel it, in silence, in distance, in tension that never gets named. So today, we're naming it. Here are the 15 unwritten social rules that decide who people trust, who they avoid, and who they keep around when life gets hard. Some of these will sting, because you've either broken them or let others break them without pushing back. But that's the point. This isn't a call out, it's a call up. So stay locked in, because one of these is the exact rule you've been ignoring, and it's the only one holding you back. You ever have that one-sided friendship, where you always listen, always show up, and they never ask a single question? It's not forgetfulness, it's a signal. People make room for what matters. If someone never asks about your day, your dreams, your pain, you're not invisible, you're just not a priority. And deep down, you already know that. You just haven't wanted to admit it. Sometimes people don't want a solution. They want support. They want someone to just sit in the mess with them, not clean it up with a whiteboard and a TED Talk. Unsolicited advice feels like judgment in disguise. Even if it comes from a good place, it lands like correction, not connection. You want to be helpful? Ask this. Do you want support or solutions? That one question will save more relationships than any advice you could ever give. Let's be real. Gossip isn't harmless. It's currency for the insecure. If someone constantly drags other people down when they're not in the room, guess what they're doing when you're not in the room? The rule here is simple. If someone feels safe tearing others down with you, they'll feel just as safe doing it to you. Watch your circle. Loyalty doesn't need a spotlight, but disloyalty always leaks in whispers. There's a difference between relating to someone and redirecting the spotlight. You've seen it. Someone shares something vulnerable, and the next person jumps in with, "Oh yeah, that happened to me too," except worse. That's not empathy. That's insecurity trying to hijack the moment. Real connection starts when you let someone else be seen, without rushing to be seen too. Ever share something deep, and they immediately pivot? Like, "Anyway, how about that game last night?" It's not always about being rude. It's about discomfort. People who avoid emotional depth aren't always bad people, but they're not safe spaces either. Pay attention to how people handle your honesty, because that tells you everything about the role they're built to play in your life. Here's a hard truth. Some people treat your emotional bandwidth like it's free Wi-Fi. They take, and take, and take, and the second you need support, they're offline. The rule is this: your energy is a resource, and if someone's constantly leaving you emotionally bankrupt, it's okay to log out. Self-respect isn't selfish, it's essential. Status, attention, value. People chase these things, but strip them away, and what you're left with is truth. If someone only treats you well when you're useful to them, that's not connection, that's convenience. The rule here: the people who see your worth when you're down are the only ones who deserve to be around when you're up. Truth without compassion is cruelty dressed up in a virtue. There's a difference between being direct and being destructive. If someone always leaves you feeling smaller, while claiming they're just being real, what they're actually doing is hiding a knife behind a compliment. The rule is this: real honesty lifts, fake honesty cuts. Silence isn't neutral. It speaks volumes. When someone ignores your message, your boundary, your pain, that silence says something, even if you wish it didn't. The rule: stop interpreting silence as confusion. It's clarity, and sometimes it's the only answer you'll ever get. You want to see someone's true character. Watch what they do when they mess up. Do they deflect, blame, pretend it didn't happen? Or do they own it fully, with no excuses? Refusing to apologize isn't confidence. It's cowardice wrapped in ego. The rule is this: if they never take responsibility, you'll always be the villain in their story. You ever feel like you have to justify your no, like just saying "I can't" isn't enough? So you start writing a novel just to keep the peace. That's not communication. That's survival. It means you've been trained to over-explain because someone keeps making you feel like you're the bad guy. The rule: when no stops feeling safe, you're not in a relationship, you're in a manipulation. Nervous system check. After you hang out with someone, do you feel lighter or heavier? Do you second-guess every word you said? Replay the whole thing in your head? That's not you being too sensitive. That's your body warning you. This connection is costing more than it's giving. The rule is simple. Peace is the receipt for healthy communication. If you're always paying in anxiety, you're in the wrong room. Some people only love the version of you that stays small. That doesn't challenge them. That doesn't rise too high. So when you finally do win and they go quiet, that's not a coincidence. That's resentment with a fake smile. The rule is this: real friends don't compete with you. They cheer for you, even when they're behind. Boundaries aren't suggestions. They're standards. But some people treat them like speed bumps, something to ignore when they're in a hurry. Here's what you need to know. The first time someone crosses your boundary is a test. The second time is a pattern. And the third, that's permission you gave by staying silent. The rule is this: if they don't respect your no, they don't respect you. No is a full sentence, and you don't owe anyone a PowerPoint presentation to back it up. This one's hard, especially if you were raised to be polite, accommodating, agreeable. But here's the truth. Every time you explain your no just to make someone else comfortable, you chip away at your own comfort, and you teach people that your boundaries are negotiable. They're not. The rule? You don't need a reason to protect your peace. You just need a backbone. Here's the real secret about social rules. They're not really about being nice. They're about being safe, emotionally, mentally, energetically. Every unwritten rule is a thread in the fabric of trust. And when someone breaks one, that fabric tears. So here's your challenge. Start watching the way people move. Not what they say, but what they repeat. And more importantly, start watching yourself. Because sometimes we're the ones breaking the rules and blaming everyone else for the fallout. But now you know better. So you get to do better. These aren't just social rules. They're survival skills in a world that doesn't teach them. And when you master them, you stop wasting energy on people who were never on your team to begin with.